Hey guys, Hunter here. In this episode, I'm going to be going over the dumbbell preacher curl. Preacher curls are a great isolation exercise for the bicep, as they really allow you to set yourself up to not be able to use anything but the bicep. And that's the point when we're doing bicep exercises, obviously. So some things to keep in mind before we even grab a dumbbell with this is you want to make sure that we have this pad height set right, or you manipulate your body in a way that allows it to be set correctly. So if you have a fixed machine and you can't adjust anything, no worries, we can still get you set up right. If you do, you want to have it set to where whenever you get in it, your elbow is able to be firmly planted here, and you're able to have your shoulders forward and over it. You don't want to have it set to where you're way up here and your elbow's not able to make contact, or super low to where you're hanging over it. You want to have the pad firmly in your armpit, and you want to be able to make solid contact with your elbow. Some things that you can do if you have a machine or a bench that can't be adjusted is you can actually play around with how you are seated in it. So a lot of the times at the gym that I go to, at least, you can't move it around. So what I'll do is I'll actually hang my legs off back of it and just allow that to rest in there like that and get that contact that we want with the elbow and the pad firmly in there. So that's a good trick if you can't adjust the machine to be able to get the mechanics right, and obviously that works for a low one like this or one that's a lot taller. So once you have your machine set right, or you found a way to have your body maneuvered correctly to have the optimal positioning for the exercise, there are some things that we want to keep in mind. Whenever you're doing this exercise, you want to make sure that from here to here on your arm stays firmly planted on here. And take it one step further, that most of the pressure when you're curling is right around here in your elbow. What that means is we've isolated the bicep and we're not using the front delt. Whenever that arm comes off like that, that is purely a function of the front delt, not of the bicep. So you want to keep from here to here as planted on that bench as possible. And like I said, almost allow for the elbow to be the point of the lever, for lack of a better term. So whenever we're curling, you want to pay special mind to keeping from your shoulder to your elbow to wrist in as straight a line as possible. We don't want your elbow way out here and curling sideways. You don't want to have it way out either. So keeping everything in as straight a line as possible is very important. As you curl, like you should with all bicep exercises, do your best to lead with this part of your hand and to really supinate as you curl. So you're obviously somewhat supinated from the starting position, but as you curl up, really try and lead with this part of your arm, because it makes the difference in the amount of contraction you're able to get with your bicep. So now that I've given you the tips and tricks that I have in terms of getting the machine set right and the form for the exercise, let me show you what it looks like with weight. Get in here, I'm gonna have a nice solid contact from the elbow all the way up to the shoulder, have that pad really in my armpit. So from the resting position, and I will say on this exercise, one thing that you really want to keep in mind is you want to stay tight and controlled throughout the whole range of motion. This is one of the easiest bicep exercises there is to tear a bicep on, because it's very easy to hyperextend because your arm has nowhere to go. So you know, if you're getting crazy with it and you allow that weight to go down too quick and then try to curl it back up, or like rest past the point of where the tendon wants to go, you can actually pop a tendon of the bicep or tear it right in the middle of the muscle belly. So it's a great exercise, but one that you need to be careful with, and be sure to use a weight that your body can actually handle. So once you're set, have all the pressure on the bottom part, especially around your elbow, and as you curl up, be sure to supinate. Don't allow your arm to come up, because if your arm comes up like this, that's a function of your front delt. That's what it looks like with weight. If you enjoyed this tips and tricks that I had for the dumbbell preacher curl, be sure to check back in the future for more content like this.